Hey y'all, so I'm not going to put myself in this video, but what I want to do is I want to talk about something. Now, I was reluctant on speaking about this and bringing this out into the forefront and bringing this to attention, but I think that this really definitely needs to be spoken about. Now, this is about psychic scammers. Okay. Now, I'm not going to necessarily drop this person's their name will be, heard or of course throughout this recording. But pretty much what happened is I was scammed by a psychic last year. This psychic scammed me out of $3,000. I know, baby. I know it was a dumb mistake that I made because I was being naive. I was being desperate. I was being gullible, and I was blindly trusting somebody that I barely knew, But what I want to do is do this to bring awareness so that other people don't fall in the same trap. Honestly, having to say that, having to speak that out loud is definitely humiliating. I mean, it's humiliating enough. So I want you to understand, listen, I get it. But even past that, I definitely want to speak on this because I want to bring awareness to how these people are and, what to look out for when it comes to, dealing with a psychic scammer. Now, I'm going to have to pretty much do like a story time so I can really, really explain to you all what happened, so I can tell you what was going on with me in my life and how I was able to be, deceived and manipulated, and how this person did it, because this person is very cunning, very conniving, very manipulative and very good at what they do. Like a person like that is a scammer, a con artist. People like that are master manipulators, and they are very good at what they do. And so when I make the story time, I will definitely really explain what happened, so that way seriously what to look out for, so that nobody ever makes this mistake. Okay. I understand that a lot of things that I've dealt with in my life happened for a reason. It was for me to learn these lessons, and so that I can help bring the wisdom to other people based off my own experience to help other people, because I would hate to see somebody else going through something like that, whether I know you personally or whether I don't know you personally. I would hate to see somebody lose out on money, their hard-earned money, or whatever the case is, because they trusted somebody, especially when they were in a vulnerable state, because that's the state that I was in when this happened to me. And it's not fun. It's not a fun thing to do. And I've been working to heal myself from this situation. And a part of healing is, talking about it and being transparent about it, So I thank you all for, your support and for listening to this. Thank you so much. And I definitely will say this, that I take my full responsibility for the role that I played. I needed to learn that to not trust people so easily, and that if anyone is ever asking for money or large amounts of money, to ask questions. Absolutely ask questions. Ask for an invoice, ask for a receipt, ask for something written, ask for a written statement on what this is going to be, because a person could tell you anything. Someone could say, hey, yeah, send me $200 for this. And they're saying that it's for one thing, but it could be for something else, And this person that's this psychic that scammed me has done this several times to different people. And there were several people that has gotten scammed out of more money than I have. I'm just grateful that she didn't take as much more, take more from me. And I'm grateful that I woke up to the truth and realized no, and didn't send her anything else. So basically what I did is I have been trying to call her, but anytime I call her off of my cell phone or even off my work phone, which is a totally different number, she never answers the phone. So finally what I decided to do was use the house phone. Yeah, like my mother's house phone. Yes, we still have a house phone, y'all. Okay. So I decided to call her off of the house phone. Now, in this recording, I'm recording myself the whole time. I'm recording the conversation that I had with her. Okay. and I have it on speaker. So it may be a little hard to hear. I'm going to go ahead and, turn the volume up so you can hear everything. But you're going to hear me speak in a different tone. You're going to hear me using a different voice. Like pretty much, y'all, I was putting on my actress skills, pretending to be somebody, pretending to be a character. I was playing a character just so I can get some information out of her. Okay. And so you're gonna hear me say something, like this is gonna look like me being a little dishonest. I was playing a role. I'm gonna be real with y'all, okay? But it's all for a purpose because I really wanted to bring awareness to this. So there are 2 separate recordings because when I had talked to her the first time, I had asked her a specific question towards the end of the call, and then she kind of had to hurry up off the phone. And then she called me back, and I kind of went back to that same topic, and I was asking her more questions. And then I mentioned something at the very end of that call. And then that's where she completely just hangs up the phone on me. So clearly she was showing that she was guilty for something. So I have to kind of explain this before going in. So the next part of this is you're going to hear both recordings of, the call. So my voice is a little fun. It's going to sound a little funny because I'm making my voice sound different. So that way, because she could possibly recognize my voice. That's why I had to put on a different voice, right? So it's probably going to sound a little funny. It's going to sound a little weird. But yeah, I really wanted to just bring awareness to this because especially in this day and age with social media, it's hard to trust people. We're still in this middle of this pandemic. And there are many people out there that are just scamming innocent, vulnerable people because people are so desperate for money right now. I mean, it really saw an influx of scammers throughout this pandemic. So honestly, yeah, it's a lot, guys. But anyway, if you care to listen, if you are interested and you want to hear the call, go ahead and continue to listen to this video. That's all I have. All right.
And that's the reading I recommend for you. Now, it is a reading that goes to life. So it goes into all areas of life, not just about love, but it's a very spiritual and powerful reading for the center of love.
Okay, and what was the price again?
$125.
All right. So it looks like I can pay you after we complete the reading, right?
Usually I do the payment in first, just to get it out of the way. I do that with all my clients.
Okay. Yeah, because kind of don't have that at the moment, but I will have it just a little bit later because when my check gets in, my check usually gets in around the evening time, around 6 p.m. So I could, pay you afterwards.
Okay. Is there any way, Robin, that we could do your reading when you're able to do payments then?
Actually, I don't think so. Because this is probably the most available time that I have right now. Later on this evening, I'm going to be spending time with my family for the Easter holiday. So we were going to head there around 5, but I could just, call you back and just, we can figure out how to.
Call me back, or I do payment in PayPal, Venmo, if any of those work for you. I can do that too, if that helps.
Yeah. So, I give you my word. I can pay you afterwards if you just allow me to just pay it just a little bit later on this evening when my check hits.
Okay.
But I'm really interested in what messages that you said that came through.
Yes, I'm very interested in it as well. The only thing is, I always do payment first, because I do that with all my clients. So without that, I'm not able to do the reading. But You know, Robin, whenever you're ready, or even this Monday, I'd really love to read for you.
All right. Well, if is there just anything that you can give me, just briefly?
It's just, you know, something that I do with all my clients, so I would have to do it with you as well.
I understand. I understand. Just wanted to know. But even just before we get off the phone, I just wanted to know if there was just anything that came through. You know.
Yes, I'm sorry, Robin. I can only answer those energies in a reading because I have to use my certain spiritual tools to channel. But when you're ready, or if you are able to do the reading today, please call me back because I really love to read for you.
Understanding. You kind of got me real excited, you know, because you were saying that you were able to do this really soon, and you were saying that you know there was things that was coming through, and I'm just really interested on what was actually coming through.
Yeah, I'm only able to do that in a reading, though. I'm sorry, Robin, but when you're ready, please call me back, okay? I'll be here anytime. I apologize. It's just, you know, when I do readings, especially over the phone, I've got to get payment first.
All right. Also, what is also part of your process when it comes to doing readings?
So I do spiritual work to reunite the twin flames, to reunite lovers. It's something I specialize in for many years. So I do that as well.
How do, you said you reunite soulmates? How do you actually do that?
So I do this through my spiritual gifts and power because I know how to do spiritual work to bring lovers together through meditation, through prayer.
So
spiritual healing.
Go ahead.
But I do it through all those ways.
So through meditation, through healing. So how is it that you're able to bring them together? Like, how does that work? Like, do you have clients that you've actually brought together before?
Yes, many throughout the world.
And how did that happen? Like, what did they say that they did? Like, how did you assist them?
So I assist them by being there for them in the physical, giving them some therapy if needed. And then to bring the lovers back together, there's certain candles that I light for them, magical candles to bring lovers together. I do meditation, prayer, spiritual work of Reiki, of meditation. And I work with soulmates, my flames, all different kinds of spiritual soulmates.
Interesting. Because, you know, as I've learned about, you know, on soulmates and everything, I've never actually heard that a healer or like a reader or a psychic was able to actually bring soulmates back together. I've never heard that. I've never actually heard that before because, you know, what I've learned about like soulmates is that, you know, it's the work that you do within your own self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robin, your phone went out. I can't hear you too well.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. The volume was a little low. I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah, so because I was saying how what I've learned about soulmates is that the work that you do within your own life, you know, like healing or just raising your vibration is a lot of things that I've heard. But it's just interesting how you're saying that you're able to bring soulmates together.
Correct.
So so when the people that you've brought together, like the soulmates and you said twin flames that you've brought together because you've done stuff, like what did the clients have to do on their end? Because you did stuff on your end. What did they have to do on their end?
It all depends. Sometimes I'll have them do certain meditations at home, certain different spiritual regimens that they can follow, but since everybody's situation is different and, you know, what they're going through is different, I specialize and specify that personally for each client, if needed.
Yeah. Now, was this anything that they have to compensate for monetarily?
Compensate, what do you mean by that?
Any type of monetary compensation, is that needed on their end to send you?
What's the word compensation mean? I'm sorry, not familiar.
Oh, like to compensate, to basically help and assist, or in order to,
Yes,
yeah, any type of, monetary,
yes,
yes, you do. So, they have paid you to do this for them?
yes.
And what are your prices for that?
Once I give you a reading, Robin, then I'm able to give you a price because there's a certain energy in the reading that I've got to be able to feel your situation more and let you know all that I've got to do. And then I'm able to feel what it's going to take more for me to bring you two together. And then I'd be able to do a price range with you.
Well, what was sort of the average? Because you mentioned earlier that you've helped many soulmates and twin flames come together. So if there's been a type of commonality of prices that you have charged, what was around that price? If you could give me a feel.
Prices start at 500, but a lot of times it's over that.
And what all would that pay for? That, because $500 sounds like a lot of money, you know.
I'm so sorry, but I have a family member clicking in. Give me just a moment, okay?
Hello?
Hey, Robin, sorry I had to hang up on you.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine.
But Robin, I could definitely have more time to answer all your questions then. And when you're ready, give me a call. We'll go from there, okay, sweetie?
Well, actually, before you kind of hung up the phone, I had asked you a question, and I was I was basically asking that you mentioned how in order to help soulmates come back together, that there's pricing for that, and I was asking, like, what does that go towards?
Robin, that's something that depends on each person's journey. Sometimes I do some work with the client, and there'll be like an additional fee because they'll need more work done, or they'll tell me, hey, I want like a little bit more work over this, and then we'll do more work, and then sometimes they're like, you know what, we're good. I think that this is good.
Now, you do send like invoices, correct? When they have to pay you, you send a receipt.
Yes, I do.
And how do you send the invoices and the receipts? I'm sorry?
So there is a few ways to do it. It just depends on how they pay me, you know?
Well, actually, before any, because the only thing I'm concerned about is before I would want to send any type of, any type of money, I would like to see some type of some type of invoice or receipt of, the total, what everything is going to cost, and what it will go towards. Would you be able to provide that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Now, do you have you done that for people in the past? Have you given people receipts and stuff?
Yeah, I sure have.
And you sent this via email?
Yes. But when you say receipt, like, what I send you is, because I charge when I do spiritual work for somebody, I charge them on my time and energy. So I would send them a receipt of the payment, of course, that they just made. And that would be it.
So you're sending them the receipt afterwards, not beforehand, because anytime I would want to pay something to anyone over the phone, I would just like to see just a written document of the pricing, what each thing costs, so that way I can know where the money is going towards, just for regular purposes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out there, scammers and people conning people out of money. So I just wanted to be safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what, Robin, how I do it, like I said, is I charge for my time and energy. So there's no written document I can send you on my time and energy.
You said what about the written document?
There's no written document that I can make that, I'm doing your spiritual work, because there's no tools involved. It's just for my time and energy that I'd be working to do the work.
Well, I mean, you did mention that there were certain types of, candles or other things that you would have
the
to.
only other tool is candles. So
right.
That's if it's needed in your work, then I could make you like a receipt. That's fine. Yeah, actually, I definitely could do that. And then once you do a payment with me, because I have a card machine, I would forward you like a receipt that the payment you just made right away.
Right. So, why would it be at so much money though? Because $500 seems.
It's a lot of work to do this spiritual work. It costs time, it costs energy, and just like you pay anybody else for their work, this work costs as well.
Correct. Like, if I go to the hair salon or to the nail salon, like that costs money.
Yep.
But
and then here's the thing: if you want time and energy through this whole process, a therapist charges each time you pay them, and and depends on how many hours you're with them. So this would be personal therapy, advisory. This would be helping you change and alternate your life. So if you want that to happen, I mean, you do have to pay for it. So I have a lot of clients that ask me that, and that's the thing. I tell them the same thing,
Yeah. Now, I've definitely seen a therapist before in my time, and, I haven't paid that much money. I would usually pay maybe $25, $30 per session that I was seeing these, and that was for an hour-long session with the therapist or the counselor.
I can't believe that, because nowadays therapists are $160.
Not necessarily, because I found some in my city that they charge. Maybe it's because I have insurance. I have health insurance that covers it. So so pretty much the copay. But
without the health insurance, there's no insurance for this. So this is absolutely paying out of pocket by yourself. So I think that's the difference. But it's any kind of help in this life that you want, you've got to pay for.
How many hours do you put in? I mean, is it just $500 just for you to sit in a meditation? I mean, wouldn't I be able to sit in a meditation myself?
$500. It could even go over that. It could go. I know $500 is the least enough. So I'm not just giving you, a price that it's just going to be $5. Could be more. And the hours I put in to answer your question, they're a lot. It's like 8 to 9 hours each day. So I take on one person's case at a time until completed, and I'd be putting 8 to 9 hours into your work a day. So that's a lot.
And what exactly are you doing in those 8 to 9 hours?
All the spiritual work I told you about. But
what is the spiritual work that you're talking about?
Robin, I don't mean anything, but you've been asking me a lot of questions, and I do want to help you and everything, but the only thing is, if you don't want a reading, I know you do want a reading, but when you call me for a reading, I'd be able to answer more of those questions for you, okay?
Well, I just would like to know before I decide to proceed forward, and if you're unable to, answer some of these questions being very vague, it seems like you're hiding something.
No, I'm not hiding anything at all. It's just, even I'd rather do a reading with you and know that, it's something you're actually interested in and that you can think about. I don't have anything at all to hide, at all. So that's definitely not true. There's nothing to hide. So if you're interested, sweetie, you can give me a call back and then we can proceed from there, okay?
Now, one thing that I did see that concerned me a little bit is when I was looking at your website, I was looking at some of the reviews on there, and there were some things in there that were quite disturbing. Like, asking for $1,000 for someone, and it was something about a couple was like elderly or something like that, and they felt that they got scammed out of their money. Hello? Hello, are you still there? You see what I'm saying? Anytime you asking her questions, she hanging up the phone. I just exposed her right there. Exactly. Period.